Final goodbyes. The funeral service for Representative John Lewis taking place Thursday, closing an historic chapter in American history. Former President Barack Obama delivering the eulogy, paying tribute to Lewis's life and legacy.
John Lewis will be a founding father of that fuller, fairer, better America.
Two other former presidents, George W. Bush and Bill Clinton, also attending the private funeral at the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, which Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once led.
We live in a better and nobler country today because of John Lewis.
He kept moving. He hoped for and imagined and lived and worked and moved for his beloved community.
Lewis died on July 17th after a months-long battle with pancreatic cancer. He spent his entire life fighting not just for civil rights of African Americans, but for the rights of all people who suffered social injustices. He played an instrumental role in the passage of the landmark Voting Rights Act in 1965, fought for equality for LGBT Americans, and marched with Parkland, Florida students in wake of the tragic school shooting. He held speeches and led demonstrations, letting his voice be heard so that others would no longer suffer in silence. In making sure his cause lives on after his death, Lewis wrote an essay shortly before he died and was published posthumously in the New York Times. In it, Lewis implores the next generation to keep fighting, telling them it is your turn to let freedom ring.
I'm here today to pay tribute to a man that was larger than life.
Hundreds gathered outside of the church while the funeral was underway. While on Capitol Hill, where Lewis didn't just talk change, he walked it, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi offering these words about her friend and colleague.
We always knew he worked on the side of the angels, and now he is with them. May he rest in peace.
Lewis's final resting place, the Southview Cemetery in Atlanta, Georgia. Lewis spent more than 3 decades in Congress representing Georgia's 5th congressional district, and it is in that state where he will rest in peace. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Washington.